Do your best to live a peaceful life. That's what the Bible teaches us. And in Proverbs 17:1 it says, "Better is a dry morsel and quietness therewith than a house full of sacrifices with strife." A dry morsel would be like a cracker. In the Middle Eastern custom of eating, they would take a piece of bread and they would dip it in something, some kind of sauce, maybe some olive oil. A dry morsel means that it's just the most humble of meals. A package of cheese crackers. But the Bible says, better that dry morsel, better a package of cheese crackers than a house that's filled with sacrifices. In other words, the house that's got lots of wealth and is able to take the beef to the temple to sacrifice, and so you're having filet mignon, but you have strife. Quietness versus strife. Which one will you choose? Well, the Bible tells us point blank, better is the house that's quiet. Now, that doesn't mean lack of noise. That means lack of fussing, lack of fighting, lack of domestic squabbles. That is the house that is peaceful. And that's what you and I should choose. Mark chapter 9, verse 50, Jesus says, "Salt is good, but if the salt have lost his saltiness, wherewith will you season it? Have salt in yourselves and have peace one with another." Jesus has called us to peace. Romans chapter 12, verse 18 says, "If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men." A house that's quiet, a house that's filled with peace and love, that is the blessed place to live, no matter how much money that house has. You see, so many times I think people choose material things and they wind up with strife rather than working toward peace. Well, how do you build that house? How do you aim toward and get toward that house that has quietness or peace therewith? Colossians tells us, it lays it out for us nicely. In chapter 3 and verse 12, it says, "Put on therefore as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye. And above all these things put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. And let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful." So there it is. There's the how-to. You put this on. If you're a follower of Jesus, then you put this on. And here's what it looks like. It looks like mercy. It looks like kindness. It looks like humility. It looks like meekness and long-suffering. Be a forgiving person and be a loving person. And he says, if you'll do that and you'll be thankful, the peace of God is going to rule in your heart. I just want to encourage you today. Where is the emphasis in your home and in your goal in life? Is it on acquiring material possessions, or is it on building a peaceful life filled with the love of Christ, humble, meek, charitable, kind, thankful life? Choose the latter, and you'll have peace and quietness, and you'll be blessed. God bless you. Have a great day.